But you know what? He could reconsider. Well, he said a lot more, but he didn't say it was off record, but I'm going to keep it to myself for now. Continuing, Judge Andrew Napolitano should run with Ron Paul, said another Twitter to our site. Another one said running mates, Ralph Nader, Chuck Baldwin, Michelle Bachmann. Yeah, Ralph Nader is kind of a socialist, not good. He's good on exposing corporations, but not his solutions. Michelle Bachmann's okay, but nothing compared to Chuck Baldwin. Gary Johnson. I guess that's the former New Mexico governor. Jeff Sessions should run. I love him. Alan Keyes should run with Ron Paul to stop the race issue. That's an interesting idea. Charlie Sheen, yeah. It says Ron Paul for president with Jesse Ventura as vice. I think that comes up most often. Who should Ron Paul in 2012? Ron Paul, of course. Yeah, we know that, Twitterer, but we want to know who he should run with. What about if a Rand Paul, Ron Paul? That'd be crazy. Andrew Napolitano. Ron Paul's running mate should be Alexander Emmerich Jones. And then they misspell Emmerich because half the information on the Wikipedia page is wrong about me, and they won't let us fix it. You got to love Wikipedia. I can't give them real information about who I am. Continuing, Jesse Ventura again. Another one says, if he really wants a power ticket, one that can galvanize the masses, it's got to be Paul Kucinich. Again, Kucinich is a complete socialist and wants to ban guns. He's a good guy, and then he stands for what he believes in, and he's anti-Federal Reserve and anti-war. But, I mean, I couldn't vote for Kucinich. And Ron Paul's not going to run with Kucinich. You better believe that. I think that Jesse Ventura will be a great vice president. Chuck Baldwin came up. Alan Keyes or Bob Barr. Alan Keyes a lot better than Bob Barr. Alan Keyes again. Alex Jones for Secretary of State. Judge Andrew Napolitano should run with Ron Paul in 2012. VP Andrew Napolitano. Secretary of Treasury Peter Schiff. Dr. Alan Keyes would be the best running mate for Ron Paul. Chuck Baldwin for VP. Jim DeMint has the true conservative credentials to be Dr. Paul's VP. He's pretty good on a lot of issues, and that is a power candidate. Rand Paul, of course, who would fail to love a father and son tag team. I don't even know if that's constitutional. That's kind of like royalty. I don't think Ron Paul would do that. I don't think I'm for it. Jesse the Mind Ventura and Ron Paul will get the attention needed to win. Nader would work too, and too old. I've been around him. He kind of a little bit shaky. Just 3 years ago, I was around him, and he was kind of like not. He's old. Jesse Ventura for Defense Secretary. A lot of the same names over and over again. So there you have it. That's what listeners are thinking on that front. I'm going to come back and hit some more news, but right now, let's talk to who's up first here. Let's talk to Tim in Germany. Tim in Deutschland, you're on the air.
Guten Tag.
Yeah, you're on a bad...
Aus Deutschland, Alec.
Yeah, I got to let you go. Sorry, your Skype's not working. Yeah. Tom in Florida, you're on the air.
Taking my call and what you're doing for the American people. I have a horrendous story to tell you what they did to me and my family.
Go ahead.
Alex, I lived in the panhandle of Florida. At 11 o'clock at night when I'm working on the computer, I stepped out to take a leak. And coming at me was 3 jets at about 800 feet. All 3 of them pouring something out of their wings, which I assume was Corexit.
You sound like a real hillbilly. Like there's nothing like peeing in the backyard, huh?
Sorry, man. My wife came out. I'm a songwriter, too. We were singing. I'm as American as they come, from my grandfather, Clarence, on down. I have 7 children, including 3 I took in that belonged to a friend of mine.
So you were out there lovingly watering the plants, and, and here come the jets with Corexit. They admit they're spraying. Go ahead.
It was a full moonlight. I wouldn't have even known it. The jets didn't make any noise, barely a whisper. I stood and I watched them fly right over our house, spraying the stuff out. And as they crossed the island and got out onto the Gulf, 3 more crossed from the other direction, east to west. I stood and watched as the fumes came down and hit me in the face. My knees buckled. I hit the ground. I was in convulsions for 30 minutes before I could crawl back into the office.
You got to listen, Tom. You got to shoot a YouTube video about this. In Florida, the news has reported that they have been finding a lot of Corexit in the swimming pools, lakes, and rivers. I know they're still spraying it, that and other dispersants. This is really important because it's the perfect cover the government's done tens of thousands of admitted chemical, biological, radiological releases over every major city in town. They do it to see if they can get the pilots to follow along, to see if they can keep it secret. And they've killed people in these tests. So I believe this happened to you. This is huge.
Absolutely, sir. I would love to tell you the story. We moved. Someone made the decision that me and my beautiful family was expendable. We're not expendable. We're Americans. We've been an asset to everywhere we've been.
So you had to move.
Who do you tell when the government decides you're expendable? Who do I tell? You're the only one. I peed blood for a week, and I had lost about a third of my vision. We hauled ass to the mountains. We're in a good position in the mountains.
Well, I tell you, listen. I got to go, but you should write an article about it. You should send it to us with specifics, where you lived, what happened. Then we can talk about it on the show, get other people from that area to find out if they had health problems. But, I mean, the EPA's told people that core exit's not bad for you and there's no health problems. We know that's a lie. We'll be right back on the other side of this break. They claim they've gotten rid of 70% of the oil, and now admit that's a lie. I mean, they tell you DU's good for you.
What is a wind generator?
How can the wind produce power for a small cabin?
How can wind energy be stored and used during an emergency?
Can I assemble my own wind generator?
For answers to questions about wind power, visit windbluepower.com. Did you know the wind could provide your family with emergency power? It can with a wind generator from windbluepower.com. Learn how our amazing LightBreeze wind generator kits start charging a 12-volt battery and just 6 mile per hour wind. Or see the new Cyclone X2 dual kit featuring 2 wind generators on just 1 tower. And learn why schools and universities across the country utilize our products to teach about wind power and alternative energy at windbluepower.com. All kits qualify for a 30% IRS tax credit for residential energy efficient property. Enter coupon code RADIO for a 5% discount at windbluepower.com. That's windbluepower.com or call 800-976-0026. That's 800-976-0026.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cameras, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Afraid to answer it? Afraid to answer your door? Did you know that debt settlement, bankruptcy, and attorneys will cost you about 10 times more than you would legally be required to pay creditors? These are not ways to help you get out of debt. They are expensive payment plans. And if you're in debt already, does it make sense to load yourself up with another payment plan? Zero debt in 90 days gets you out of debt in 90 days, guaranteed. And that's the website you need to visit right now. ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Zero debt in 90 days gets you out of debt without a payment plan and without attorneys or going to court. ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com is the quickest solution to debt relief on the planet. If you have more than $25,000 in credit card debt, student loans, or difficult mortgage situation, we can help, and we are the only organization to provide written guarantees on the results. Go to ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. That's ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
I'm going to be back Sunday live 4 to 6 p.m. Central here on the Genesis Network. For more news and information, also visit the website gcnlive.com. This is from the London Independent. It's also Reuters, AP. They just come right out and tell you victims of extraordinary rendition, that's snatch and grab kidnapping, they now do at G20 meetings, cannot sue U.S. court rules. And they say that even citizens can be secretly grabbed, tortured, and never given a trial. Now, that shows our courts are completely illegitimate and no one is safe. And remember, Homeland Security admits this is set up for you, the citizens. Business as usual. Fed court slaps down torture lawsuit against CIA. Infowars.com. Links to the New York Times. Meanwhile, here is, and I'm going to talk more about this on Sunday, here is NBC. NBC News with the headline, Random Pat-Downs turn Patco into police state. That's not Alex Jones saying police state. That's NBC News. They want you to know. Commuters who ride Patco trains between southern New Jersey and Philadelphia should expect random searches of their clothing, pocket bags, and vehicles on their morning trip to work. Television Transport Security Administration screeners armed with explosive sniffing canine checked 663 commuter bags randomly selected from the morning rush at the Lindenwood station. And it says they're going to continue. When I was in the Atlanta airport, when I'd gotten off the plane, they were announcing it's an orange alert. Terrorists may hit. Something out of The Running Man. And then I was walking, and out of one of the gates comes a guy in kind of a Border Patrol green outfit with a German Shepherd, and I look over, and here's the German Shepherd right up next to me. And he was just, and the cop had his arms out, kind of in the chicken mode, like, I'm tough. He was like going, looking at me. I was just, let me tell you something. Naked body scanners, all of this going on the streets of America. This is all about training you to line up and answer questions. It has nothing to do with terrorism. The globalists staged those attacks. Bottom line, they staged the Gulf of Tonkin, the rest of it, and it's sick. And they've got the police in here being quoted as saying, we can, quote, do whatever we want to you. And all these congressmen, Stark and others, on video saying, you have no rights. The federal government can do whatever it wants. And the federal government's run by a bunch of crooked offshore banks. It was chaotic, said Kevin Gregson, an accountant for Motorola who commutes to Philadelphia daily, told the Courier Post. Nobody was sure what was happening, whether it was safe to get on the train or that we were carrying something we shouldn't. Delaware River Port Authority Police Chief David McClintock told the Courier Post of Cherry Hill screeners were looking for improvised explosive devices and weapons. See, that's their cover. But out of the 600-plus people searched, they found one crack pipe. Oh, aren't they keeping us safe? Meanwhile, they admit the government grows the opium in Afghanistan. The chief says out of the 666 bags searched, that's a quote, between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., a crack pipe was the only item confiscated. We can conduct any kind of search we want, said McClintock. We could ask the TSA to bring wands or X-ray machines like they have in airports, though we don't think that's appropriate for Patco riders at this time. There are 5,000 commuters passing through the station daily, according to Courier Post. The searches will be conducted by a freshly hired DRPA police several times a month without advance warning at various stations. And they go on to admit they're going to have this in malls. Just search the term. FBI wants scanners in malls. 500 mobile vans, many times more powerful than a chest X-ray, blasting your house. Pretty soon they'll tell you your kids have got to snort DU or maybe drink lead, and they'll just say it's to fight Al-Qaeda. So our journey into total enslavement is accelerating. I'll be back Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. In the first hour, I had Patrice Oneal on. It was pretty powerful info. I want to say great job to the crew. Keep spreading the word about the broadcast, folks. That's why we're reaching so many people.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4,